What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got our wild card weekend on the dot NFL live stream coming at you guys at 8 p.m. Central Time. Man, it's a different vibe than 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have tuned in before throughout the whole season, we've had a very, very good season. We went 66-60 for roughly about 8 units in profit. So appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. And I'll let you guys know throughout the playoffs when I'm going to be doing those. I'm assuming this is going to be Friday or Saturday morning. I think I like the Friday nights a little bit better. It's a different vibe. It's a nice change of pace. So as always, this stream brought to you guys powered by Occupy Fantasy. If you guys have not yet checked them out, go to occupyfantasy.com. Use my referral link in the description below. The best lineup optimizer in the game, DFS projections for any sport out there. And also Brian at the guys had a great 2-game slate breakdown earlier today. So make sure you guys go check out on their YouTube channel, Occupy Fantasy on YouTube. Great with Jack as well. Jack's probably one of the best 2-game slate players in the game. So definitely some good knowledge to be had again, how to attack tomorrow's 2 slate game. I'm going to cover the entire weekend right here, be here for about 30 minutes or so. If you guys have any additional questions, let me know. I really like this board. I think this is a very, very profitable weekend here. Wildcard weekend's always been one of the fun ones for me. So we'll go over the stacks that I like for DFS, go over some general thoughts, best plays. Then we'll go over, I got a spread, I got a total, I got 3 props, and then we also have our VIP teaser and our anytime touchdown pick to click. Got that last week as well. And then we had our anytime touchdown parlay, which if AJ Brown does not go down in that game, I think we get that last week. So that was unfortunate. We had James Conner, and I believe it was who was the other guy? I can't remember. Someone tell me in the chat what the heck I picked last week. But we had 2 of the 3 that were there. Just could not get AJ Brown to score. So basically, there's some crazy weather games, especially tomorrow night. We got the Dolphins at the Chiefs. Supposed to feel like -20, -30. I'm from the Midwest. It literally just went from like 50 degrees and will be down to in the negatives. So it is not a fun time. It's a wild time with the weather. Then you also have the crazy Buffalo-Pittsburgh game, which we've seen that total dip from like 43 all the way down to about 33 right now. So that has been significant. I just have stayed away from that entire game all in general. I just don't know. I could have got the under. I still think you can play the under with how crazy it's predicted, but I'd wait just a little bit further, maybe see the full onslaught of what's going on weather-wise that day. That's also that Sunday morning game at noon, or Sunday afternoon game. But basically what I'm doing this week, probably very, very easy to do. We're going to stack all the dome games. It just makes, who doesn't love a good dome game, right? Who doesn't? So Browns, Texans, Packers, Cowboys, and Rams, Lions. So all the dome games you can stack either way. I'm good. I would probably lean the Texans a little bit more than the Browns. And then I would probably lean the Packers more than the Cowboys, which is pretty wild. But that totals 50.5. And then I would probably lean the Rams over the Lions. So if you want to go those that way, that's probably how I'll build most of my lineups. And then, you could sprinkle in, I would say, the Steelers-Bills game, the Dolphins-Chiefs game, probably more of the running backs and the run game in those particular games. And then the game that I'm not struggling to pick a side. I think I know who's going to end up winning this game. I can't decide what to do just yet. I do have a total play in this game, but that Eagles-Bucks game on Monday night, it is it's a story of both teams that are pretty hurt right now, especially the Eagles, who dropped off the face of the earth. So I'll have a play on that shortly here, but for DFS purposes, I'd probably lean, a Swift and a Rashad White. If you want to play, Godwin, over Evans, I'm good with that as well. But overall, I like the DFS slate. I'm going to stick with the stacking the dome games. I think a lot of people will. So let's make sure we get the correct stack in there. If you have any other questions, hit me up in the Discord. Hit me up in the comments below. But yeah, the overall consensus there is to stack the good old dome games and the infamous Goff Stafford showdown. I love that matchup. It's going to be a very, very intriguing one. Aaron Jones has been playing out of his mind, so you can definitely throw him in there. Then you got Montgomery and Gibbs always in play. Rashad White is in play. Definitely all types of options there for the running back position. But yeah, stack those dome games and let's build from there. So let's get to our first play of the week. We are going to go to that Kansas City game. And for good reason, we are going to stack, or not stack. We're going to go with the Chiefs -4.5. Over on FanDuel got -110. I've seen this fluctuate from 5. I don't think I've seen a 5.5, but I've seen a 4 out there. I think it started at 3.5, so it's getting steamed. And I think the colder the weather gets, the more people are like, "Yep, KC is going to win. KC is definitely going to." I think they're going to come out very, very well. I like their first half. I like the full game. Very, very good idea with the rest advantage here for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like if you watched last week, they didn't have to play any, or they didn't play any of their starters. I think Pacheco. I don't even think Pacheco came into the game. I think it was just CEH. Pacheco did dress, but Kelsey and Mahomes rested. I think that was the best thing for this team. They needed a reset. It was just that bad, kind of like the Eagles, but the Eagles don't get a reset. I didn't get one. The Chiefs definitely needed one. So I think this is the right time. And then they get a team with the Miami Dolphins that is just littered with injuries. I mean, they couldn't help themselves every single. Then what's crazy is when I would watch Hard Knocks, I would like Phillips, and then I would like Van Dunkel or something like that. Or Van Gunkel, and I would watch it. I'm like, oh man, I really like that guy. Boom, he gets hurt. Really like that guy, and then he gets hurt. So I need to stop liking and falling and then Tyreek started enjoying watching his progress, and then boom, gets hurt. So then Mostert as well. So there's just the Dolphins are banged up, and the Chiefs had the rest advantage plus the weather advantage here. The Miami Dolphins they've lost their last 9 games under the 40 degrees. So they do not like to travel, especially to cold environments. Tua hasn't won a game under 48 degrees as well. So it's just the cold factor, the rest advantage. The Chiefs, I believe, should roll. They always, and just remember, Arrowhead in the playoffs, they usually get home field advantage throughout the last 4 to 5 seasons. This will be the only one, I believe, or they might be able to get one more, but this should be the only home game at Arrowhead, so the fans will be absolutely rocking. I'm good to take the Chiefs here, first half or full game, -4.5. Let me know what you guys think of that game. I'm very, very intrigued to watch that one and see how absolutely freezing cold that is, and just be on my couch, all nice and warm. All right, so we got our total. So we were talking about this game, how I don't know how it's going to go necessarily, who's going to win this game, because I think it's up in the air. The Eagles are favored, but I thought about teasing the Bucks up because I was like, there's no way that the Eagles could absolutely dominate. But the way the Buccaneers have played the last 2 weeks with the shellacking from the Saints and then not even scoring a touchdown against the Panthers has me a little bit worried about this Buccaneers team, especially offensively. Baker is just not 100%. He was limping the entire game last week, and that Eagles front four is dangerous still. Their secondary is absolute trash, but their front four can get after them. I like the under. I'm going with the Eagles Bucks under 43.5. You've seen the Eagles struggle, and offensively, their biggest weakness is on the defensive side of the ball. AJ Brown, don't know if he's going to play. I anticipate him being out. I think Devontae Smith ends up playing, but not, I don't know how effective he's going to be. It's going to be a lot of running the football. I think Rachaad White and DeAndre Swift are going to get a ton of run in these games. So I lean the under here, unless there's some pick sixes that happen. I know Jalen's got that hurt finger. It wasn't dislocated, which is good. But overall, I think both of these teams are going to be struggling to score the football. And 43.5 is a good number to get. I believe this has come down a little bit over time, but I think this is the correct angle here. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who's going to win this game. I'd probably lean the Eagles, thinking that they can figure it out, but I'm going to ultimately go with the under here, under 43.5 for 1 unit. We got that over on DraftKings. And then our 7-point teaser, as always, and we're going to go Texans plus 9.5, Steelers plus 16.5, and then tease the Cowboys down to a pick 'em. And if you want to wait, I think you could still potentially get a 3 out of Texans, and then you can get to plus 10. But I took the 2.5, teased it up. I ultimately think the Texans can win that game. I would not be surprised one bit. And if you wanted to take the Texans money line, I'm okay with it. I'm going to think it's a very, very close game. And then the Steelers-Bills game, points are at an absolute premium for when you got a 33.5 point total. The Bills should dominate this game. Every time that someone says they should, they usually don't. I know the Steelers will be without TJ Watt, and I think the Bills will again struggle to run the football, even though they haven't in recent weeks. But it's going to have to be a lot of Josh Allen. And with these wins and the weather forecast, I think you could see 1 to 2 touchdowns, and keep this game particularly close. I don't know how many field goals are going to be in this game. I really think no one's going to get beat by 17 to 20 points. I just don't see it. And then, I mean, if you wanted to, you can just take the Steelers plus 9. I think that's a good line as well. I'm teasing it up though. And then the Cowboys pick 'em. I think this Packers team is a little sneaky getting hot at the right time, and should give the Packers a good run for their money, give the Cowboys a good run for their money. But I still think the Cowboys are going to ultimately win this game. So threw them in as a pick 'em. Almost went the Rams plus 10, but I'm trying not to go get too involved with that Rams-Lions game. But I do have a prop in that one, which is probably the most obvious prop of all time, but I just think you got to take it. All right, so we got Texans plus 9.5, Steelers plus 16.5, and then the Cowboys plus 130. Cowboys pick 'em plus 130, and we're going to go a unit and a half there. We got those over on DK. All right, and we got our 3 props. And as always, make sure you guys go over to occupyfantasy.com. It is free to do. We have the Aki Prop Radar. This is such an incredibly easy tool and profitable tool that you need to use if you're going to be betting props. It is very, very simple. Let's turn this around. We got the first prop we'll look at. So basically, you go to their website, occupyfantasy.com. You go over to this betting tab, click the Aki Prop Radar. You simply type in anybody that you want to find, and we're going to go with the first prop. We're going to find David Njoku, and that is going to be over 5.5 receptions, minus 104 over on Caesars. So if you see right here, the total receptions, over 5.5 across the board. Very, very, I'd say it's a very standard line. It's been 5.5 for several weeks now, and for good measure, but he's hit this in 7 of his last 8 games. And he's been an absolute beast for this team. You can take his yards if you like, and against this Texans team, you can get after it with the tight end position. They give up the number 1 receptions to the tight end position in the league with 107, and then they're number 5 in the league with reception yards to the tight end position. It's a smash spot for David Njoku. If they're going to win this game, Njoku and Cooper are going to have to do well. If you want to take Cooper's receiving yards, you can. Again, another dome game that we were targeting. Njoku, plug him into your lineups for DFS. He should have another monster afternoon. And if you don't like if you don't like his reception total, go with the receiving yards. He's had 91, 104, 44, and then 134 the last 4 weeks. Absolute monster numbers with Joe Flacco. It's been fun to watch. All right, so David Njoku over 5.5 receptions, minus 104. Got that line over on Caesars. All right, and this next one, I'd kind of like to target quarterbacks who can scramble a little bit with a low line. I remember targeting Patrick Mahomes' lines, I would say 2 or 3 years ago, and he would be like around this particular line. It'd be, 7.5 to 10.5, or maybe even like 11.5. And he would scramble one time and cash it for you. And I think I'm in a good boat here. Good line here. Let me pull it up on the OccuProp radar real quick. We are going to go with Jordan Love over 7.5 rush yards, minus 118 over on FanDuel. You see it's 9.5 on BetMGM, Caesars, and DraftKings. So don't know why FanDuel is two yards below that, but I'm going to take good measure with that and go that route. So he hasn't scrambled as much in those last 4 or 5 games, but early on, he was running 12, 23, 39, 37, 21, 34. Granted, I think he's become a different quarterback now where he's reading the defenses pre-snap incredibly well. But this Dallas defense, you can try to read it all you want. You're going to have pressure. They pressure like 40% of the time. And Mika coming at you, I think he's going to have to scramble at times and extend drives with his legs. 7.5, I think, is a gift here. You can take it on another book. You take an alternate line if you want to, but I could see him getting 20 plus rush yards in this game. I think this is a very, very generous line here from the books. And so hopefully if you tune in, you get a nice little line here, and let's cash this Jordan Love over 7.5 rush yards. Get that over on FanDuel with the best line. And probably the absolute chalkiest of chalkiest props I'll probably give out ever on this particular show, but it's for good measure, and you got stuff to back it up. So let me pull this one up. We're gonna go to that Rams-Lions game, and we're gonna back Mr. Stafford back in Detroit. And probably everybody else might do this by the time game time rolls around, or already hasn't. But his pass yards, and 275 is a big number. But going back into Detroit, he's going to want to put on a show. Jared Goff's going to want to put on a show. It's a very, very good number. I think that's why you're going to see it across the board here. But his last 5 games, he's gotten over this number 4 out of his last 5. 279, 294, 258, 328, and 317. And my only concern with this particular play was, I think McVay is going to be kind of stubborn and try to continue to go with the run over and over and over again. But I really think he's smarter than that. He's going to be able to put on a show with Puka and Cooper Kupp against this Lions secondary that has just been decimated over the course of the season, and it's a pass funnel defense. So I think McVay won't get too stubborn here and continue to use Kyron like he was. If you wanted to, you could play Kyron's receptions or receiving yards, because I think he's going to get used a little bit differently. But I do think the Rams have a shot in this game. They're going to have to play nearly perfect, but I do like the fact that Stafford is, obviously going back to Detroit with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to want to win. He's going to want to beat them. I think he comes out slinging all day long. And then obviously, if the Lions get out to a good start, you're going to see Stafford chucking it throughout the entire game. So give me Matthew Stafford over 275.5 pass yards. He's gone 300 last 2 games. back in Detroit. Let's let it ride. Really think it's really chalky, but man, I got to do it. And then my pick to click anytime touchdown guy here. We're going to go with Matthew Stafford's counterpart, his Robin to the Batman here, and we're going to go Cooper Kupp plus 120. Let me pull up the Aki prop radar because I believe it's not as roller coastery as it normally would be, but he has also scored in 4 of his last 5 games. So let's pull this up real quick. We got to score a touchdown plus 110, plus 120 across a couple books, plus 115, plus 110 on PointsBet. So it's going up and down a bit. You would expect in a 51-point total game, Cooper Kupp will be minus. That's how he's been. And he's also scored in 4 of his last 5 games. So I'm just trying to understand this line. I think this is a no-brainer bet. I mean, I just think he's going to be able to get in. He's a very, very active target for them in the red zone, as he's always been. So plus 120, I think, is a gift from the books once again. And then I'm also going to sprinkle his first touchdown bet. First touchdown of the game, we got on BetMGM plus 900, plus 800 on Caesars. And then we go all the way up to plus 1,000 on FanDuel. I would assume by game time, these will go down. So make sure you guys get them in now. But yeah, they're a little bit different odds when you do a Friday night show compared to a Sunday morning because all the steam that gets on there. But it's good. It's good to see. So Cooper Kupp plus 120. Pick to click for me, and the first touchdown as well. And let's cash this anytime touchdown parlay. Haven't done that in a while. Thought we had it last week. Loved all 3 of them. But we got 3 more guys that are in great matchups. Like I said, we're going to go Cooper Kupp. We think he's going to score. We're going to plug him into this parlay. And if you've seen the lines for this Cowboys-Lions game, like everybody worth a damn is minus to score. If you wanted to take somebody, obviously you can take CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to go with this counterpart, Jake Ferguson, as the Packers have allowed the 3rd most receiving touchdowns in the league to the tight end position. Jake Ferguson is a target hog in the red zone. Make sure you guys get him in there. And then Nico Collins, he has been absolutely a beast this season, especially against man coverage. He should absolutely get in this week. Stroud and him it's just an unreal connection. Maybe we see the same first play of the game that we did last game with the 75-yard touchdown, massive play, which is awesome to see. But yeah, we got Cooper, we got Jake Ferguson, and then Nico Collins plus 1031 over on DK. Take that for sprinkle it. We're going to go 0.25 units there. All right. If you guys have any additional questions, we'll recap real quick. Throw them in the chat. If not, you can join the Discord below if you have any other additional questions, or just simply comment on the YouTube channel. I'll be around all weekend before these games start tomorrow afternoon. So Chiefs minus 4.5, Bucks, Eagles under 43.5. We got the 7-point teaser, Texans plus 9.5, Steelers plus 16.5, and the Cowboys pick'em plus 130 for 1.5 units. And our 3 props, we got Njoku over 5.5 receptions, Jordan Love over 7.5 rush yards, and then Matthew Stafford over 275 pass yards. With Cooper Kupp, his anytime touchdown pick to click plus 120, first touchdown for plus 1,000 over on FanDuel, and then the Kupp, Ferguson, Collins anytime touchdown bets. Rob F, what's up, man? Says great show. Appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you each and every week, everybody out there. So let's get after it for the wild card weekend. Like I said, if you are rewatching this or watching the replay, if you have any additional questions, throw it in the chat on YouTube or the comment section. I will comment with you. If you need additional insight, join the Discord we're in there 24/7. So make sure you guys join that. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys check out Occupy Fantasy, as well as they have content throughout this weekend. They also have that 2-game slate YouTube video that you can watch on the back end there. So smash that like button. Exactly. I like it. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll get up on out of here, and we'll see you guys next week. See you guys.